Now, I know the moment you've all been waiting for has been the wedding. But before we get there, we have to talk about the week before. Wedding week is here. Because this was the week that was something else entirely.
The vibe is here, come kick it with me.
Garrett and I both had our families here. We had my local family, I had family traveling in and out of state, and Garrett's family came all the way from Canada. We had a whole other country represented for us. Both of our families were together for the very first time, and honestly, this was something we didn't think was actually going to happen. Some of them were meeting each other for the very first time. And let me tell you, this was always going to be one for the books. And with everything that actually happened this week, yeah, it definitely was. So one of the things we did during wedding week was take everyone to the Trilith Experience Tour. And if you're not familiar with what Trilith is, it's one of the largest sound stages in the world. It's right here in Georgia, literally in my backyard, y'all. This is where a lot of the Marvel movies, Disney movies, major productions are all filmed here. We actually got to go inside active sound stages and walk through some of the places where a lot of my favorite movies were actually made. So we're at Costco because 1, we needed things. 2, we're getting all of our wedding cakes for our guests here, including ourselves, because 3, we don't have bakery money. So we're going to do Costco cake because it's good and it's cheaper, and unfortunately we are not rich, right, Boo?
Free cake, y'all. Enjoy it.
Yes. I got my wedding hair done. What you think? I did boho knotless, so I don't know how I'm gonna style it yet, but this is the hair so far. I need to be really honest with you about this week because I think I would be doing you a disservice if I just showed you the pretty parts. You have to understand what this wedding week meant to me. Like, really meant to me. I'm divorced. I have been through a marriage that broke me down in ways I'm still recovering from. And when I decided to do this again, to open my heart again, to say I do again, I promised myself that this time would be different. This time I was going to have the celebration I deserved. The people around me who actually wanted to be there for me. The joy I never really got to feel the first time. I had so much emotionally riding on this week. And then something shifted, and I still, to this day, don't fully understand what happened or why. But there were people that week who I expected to show up for me and Garrett, who I expected to celebrate us, and they didn't. And it hurt in a way that went so much deeper than just the week, because it wasn't just disappointment. It felt like, here we go again. Like in a completely different situation with a completely different person, I still somehow wasn't enough to be treated with kindness and respect. What saved me was the people who did show up, my mom, my friends, my family, the karaoke night that I had before the wedding day where we just laughed, sang, had a whole bunch of fun, acted stupid. All the moments that reminded me that I was loved and I was worthy of every single celebration that was coming my way. So I decided to choose joy. Even though I wasn't necessarily feeling it, even when I felt unseen, I was going to be happy anyway. And tomorrow, I was getting married. So nobody was going to take that from me.
Oh, to the end of the road, still I can't let go.
What do you sound like a praise and worship? A praise and worship leader?
We can do praise and worship there, Shay. I can be your harmony.
Yeah, we could. I want to hear what I bet the next
Yeah, I'm
time.
doing lyrics. I don't know the words. Oh,
Yeah.
what is the CC?
And it's just coffee.
I need to talk about this dress for a second because this dress was not just a dress. it is a whole entire moment. My maid of honor gifted me my wedding dress and my veil. Like, she literally just gave it to me out of love, out of support, out of just wanting this day to be everything for me. And I think about that and I still get emotional because that is the kind of friendship that you pray for. And when I put on this dress, can I say I was obsessed? The elegance of it, the way it felt, the way I looked. It was everything I could have wanted. But I have to be honest with you because you know how I roll. In that same moment, as beautiful as it was, I was so beyond stressed, so overwhelmed by everything happening around me that there were moments during that week where I genuinely wished the whole thing was never even happening. And I know that sounds terrible, but it's the truth. And I think a lot of people who have planned weddings or really big life events know exactly what I mean. Sometimes the thing you want most gets buried under everything it takes to get there. This dress reminded me why I was doing it. My best friend's love reminded me why I was doing it. And I literally had to cling onto that for dear life. Watching Garrett this week, the excitement on his face, the joy of having his family here, the way he was just completely present and happy, it was honestly beautiful to see. But I have to tell you something I didn't say out loud to anyone that week. It made me feel so incredibly guilty. Because while he's experiencing all of this for the very first time, the joy, the anticipation, the magic of getting married, I was carrying something invisible. The weight of having been down this road before, the trauma of a marriage that truly broke me, and the stress of a week that just wasn't going the way I had prayed it would, and the desperate hope that this time would be different. He didn't know how heavy this was for me, and I didn't want him to know because his joy was so pure, I just couldn't bear to take that away from him. But standing there watching him, I remember thinking, I am just a failure. Like, why can't I just be happy? Why can't I be present? Why is my past still showing up uninvited to my present? And I think that's what nobody tells you about starting over. It's just not as clean as it looks. You don't just close one chapter and open another without carrying some of the wounds with you. Healing is not linear, and sometimes you're standing in the most beautiful moment of your life and your trauma is standing right there next to you. But I showed up anyway. I was going to put on that dress and stand next to the man that I loved at the altar and say vows that meant something to me and to him. So I guess all that's left is to get married, right? Next time on Life in LiaLand.